Today we're going to take a brief look at Bouley Bay, a little of its history and what a visitor will find when they visit. Bouley Bay is a small harbour on the north coast of Jersey that has a shingle beach and offers spectacular views of the island's rugged north coast and along the Normandy Peninsula. The island of Jersey basically slopes down from north to south. The north coast is mainly cliffs, rising about 400 feet from the sea, interspersed with a few valleys that lead to small harbours. The road down to Bouley Bay is exceptionally long and winding, so much so that it is used as the course for a hill climb on a number of occasions throughout the year. The road zigzags down the hillside for nearly a mile, and with each turn a new aspect of the area's seascape is revealed. At the bottom of the hill sits a dilapidated husk of the Water's Edge Hotel, a once thriving holiday destination now awaiting demolition. In due course, the site is destined to become a luxury home, but in the meantime it's just a boarded up blot on the landscape. There is a small parking area overlooking the bay, but most of the parking is along the roadside. However, there is limited parking on the slip and on the pier itself. The road to the pier is a narrow lane that hugs the cliff face for about 400 metres and is mostly used by boat owners and anglers. Bouley Bay is documented as having been used by seafarers since at least 1274. Its deep waters and sheltered position protecting vessels from the prevailing south and westerly winds. During the island's oyster fishing boom of the 1800s, it was the home to about 30 cutters, some of which were built on the foreshore, and today it is still home to a number of fishermen, both commercial and hobby. The pier at Bouley Bay is a stubby affair that, unlike all its contemporaries, never fully dries out at low tide. It was built in 1828 at a cost of £2,500 and still offers protection to the boats that are moored in the bay during the summer months. And for boat owners without a mooring, their vessels can be stored on the quay and craned in for use. The pierhead is also a prime spot for sea anglers. Overlooking the quay is Fort Leicester, a fortification dating back to the Napoleonic era, which has been transformed into holiday accommodation. This bay is a favourite among swimmers, especially those who bathe all year round. The deep water means that you can swim at any stage of the tide, and the sea never goes out too far. And although the tidal currents off the headland are some of the strongest and most dangerous in the island, around the shore and harbour it's usually quite safe. And in the summer months there's even a floating platform for swimmers moored in the bay. Because of its deep and clear water, Bouley Bay is also favoured by scuba divers. The island's dive centre is based here, so those wishing to learn how to use an aqualung can be tutored in a safe environment. The shoreline itself is mostly a curved shingle bank. Only at low tide is there any sand, and although it's quite possible to swim from this area, it's not what most people would consider a beach. Generally, people swim from the slip, which gives easier access to the sea and is a little kinder on bare feet. If you're looking for food or refreshments, Mad Mary has run a kiosk in the bay for years and continues to do so despite the disruption of the nearby redevelopment. She's an island institution and has a regular clientele. There are also public toilets just above the slip. As with all the popular island bathing areas, the water at Bouley Bay is tested regularly. In the summer, it's a tough job. but somebody's got to do it. Bouley Bay is also on the island's cliff path route, offering some of the most breathtaking views Jersey has to offer. The paths are quite rigorous, with plenty of ups and downs, and the track can be a little uneven in places, so it's more of a trek than an amble. The path leading east takes the traveller to the White Rock, on the northeast tip of the island. While heading west, after several miles, the path leads to another small harbour at Bouley. Well, now that we've had a basic rundown, let's look at a few of the pros and cons. Bouley Bay is certainly a picturesque place to visit, but its appeal is somewhat limited. The very old and the very young may struggle for things to do. On the downside, Bouley Bay doesn't have a sandy beach, so if you're looking for a traditional seaside experience, you'd be better heading to the island's south or west coast. And although the swimming is good, the water is deep and there are no lifeguards, so it's more suited to confident swimmers. If you're on foot or bike, it's quite a climb when leaving the bay, and for motorists, the amount of parking is limited. However, on the upside, the sea never goes out far, so if you're a practiced swimmer, like canoeing, paddleboarding, snorkeling or fishing, Bouley Bay is a perfect place on a summer's day. It's a location for doing things, rather than a place to sit or sunbathe. That said, if you can ignore the derelict hotel, the views are amazing, and if you're fit enough to tackle the cliff paths, they will take you along some of Jersey's most beautiful and scenic seascapes. I hope you found this both interesting and informative. If so, click the like button, and to see more of our Jersey related videos, please click subscribe. I am Richard, and this is brought to you by Jersey, a Guide.